I'm going to make some flour tortillas today. I want to make burritos and some enchiladas, so I need the flour tortillas. And they're very simple to make, and they don't take many ingredients. I have some flour here measured out, and I'm going to put a couple teaspoons of salt. That in. And then I've got some shortening. I'm going to take the pastry cutter and just kind of cut that shortening in. Just like you would biscuits or pie crust or anything. Just cut it in until it's blended. Okay, now I've got some warm water I'm going to stir in. Flour here on the board so I can knead them here. Just like you would biscuits or anything else, pie crust or whatever, you want to knead the flour in until it's smooth. These homemade ones are much better than what you buy in the store, and they don't have any preservatives or anything in them. I'm going to divide this up into 10 portions. And to get it evenly as possible, I'm just going to kind of start with it in half. So each one of these needs to be 5 pieces. I'm going to try to get them as even as I can. And I'll do this half the same way. Over, so I'll put this with the smaller ends. Okay, and then I'm going to I'll put these right here, and I'm going to get a clean towel out to cover them up so that to keep them warm. Make them each into a ball. this towel and keep them warm while I get them all rolled out. Some of them look a little smaller than others, so I'll try to divide them up better. Now as I roll them out, I'm going to put them between wax paper to keep them soft so they don't dry out while I get them all rolled out. And then we'll put them on the griddle and grill them and cook them a little bit. You want to roll them as much in a circle as you can. Now if you like and you want them perfect, you can always take a pie plate or a bowl or something and cut around them and make them perfect. You can make these whatever size you like. You can make them smaller or larger. But for the burritos, a lot of times you want them large. You'll notice when you get these, when you order them out in the Mexican restaurants, a lot of times they are not perfectly round. That's because they make them like I'm doing here. Okay, you see how I've got it nice and thin? So I'm going to lay this one between the wax paper, and that'll keep them moist while I do the rest of them. I'm just going to cover it with wax paper and then I'll do another ball. Okay, I've got all of them rolled except this last one, and I'm heating the griddle up, and that's how we'll cook them. I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to lay it on there and cook it for like 1 minute on that side, and then we'll turn it over and cook it just a few seconds on the other side. You want it on about medium high. Don't want them real hot because it'll make them too crispy. And while that's cooking, I'm going to tear off some foil because I will keep it in between 2 sheets of foil to keep them warm while I cook all of them, and it also helps keep them soft. And then when you're finished, if you don't want to use them right away, you can store them in a large Ziploc bag. want them just to dry out a little bit. Okay, now we're going to flip it over. When they get dry enough to pick them up and turn them, then that's a sign. It's about 1 minute on the one side, and then you'll put it on maybe 30 seconds on the other side. But you can see they dry out so that you can handle them. And they kind of get bubbles in them. I don't know if you can see, but they get little bubbles in them. So then I'm going to lay it on there and fold that over, and then I'll put another one on, and when I get all these cooked, then I can make some enchiladas with them. Now I'm at the last of the tortillas. I've cooked all of them. Now it's probably going to take, I'd say, less than 15 minutes to cook 10 of them. So you can see they're very quick. And this is the last one here. And I've got all of these, you can see them stacked here between the foil. Once you eat the homemade tortillas, you won't want to buy them again. These have nice air bubbles in them, so they're a much better texture. You'll see the bubbles coming up in them, and that's a sign that they're getting ready to turn over. And like I said earlier, if you want to make them perfectly round, you can cut them in a circle. Put a dish or something over it and cut it, but when you want them just for yourself, I don't think it's necessary. And actually, to me, they look more homemade and better if you don't. Okay, this one's about finished. So I'm going to take it off, and you can, if you can get a good look at it here. And then on this side, you can see all the bubbles. So that one's ready, and we've done them all probably in 15 minutes or less.